I'm a little disappointed. Your attire tonight is very standard. It's almost boring by your standards.
Where's your fur coat?
Yeah.
I went red, white, and blue. These guys didn't get any memos, not even Canada's colors.
I got my poppy on.
But speaking of Canada, can you see, the hockey gods, they dropped the Canadian flag, over Messier's shoulder. It's perfect. It's amazing.
Timing. It's all about timing.
That's not green screen. That's actually there. The only thing would be better if we put it between you and PK. Subban unfortunately picked the U.S. to win. I'm sorry your pick didn't work out for you.
I'm sorry your country lost. I'm sorry, dude.
Here is the celebration. This is going on right now.
How's that make you feel, Leaves? How does it make you feel?
I admire them.
And I think that's American champagne, too, that's being sprayed everywhere. I don't think that's Canadian.
We've got a new cup, a Four Nations face-off. And so the story of the game will be Connor McDavid, and his reward after this, he'll have a good time tonight. The Oilers start on a 5-game road trip. Then back-to-back in Philly and Washington. So there's your break. I mean, it's right back at it. But in a best-on-best tournament, the best player in the world wins it for Canada.
Well, there's a huge sacrifice for the players to do that. They wanted to play best on best, and to do that during the regular season, they knew coming out of this, they're right back to the NHL, which is who's paying them. So, I mean, I think they all knew what was coming. McDavid tonight was interesting game for him. For the first 2 periods there, it was not the Connor McDavid that we're used to seeing. He couldn't seem to get the puck.
And he said it. He admitted that.
In areas that we normally see him. And I think, obviously, it had to do with the great defense and the attention that the U.S. was giving McDavid. But for some reason, the best players always find a way to make great plays happen, like Crosby did in 2010, like Henderson did in 1972. We keep going back. And you could just see he didn't have his best game tonight for a lot of reasons. But whatever it was, he never stopped working. And here he finds himself the most dangerous player on the planet, all alone between the hash marks with nobody around him. And he makes no mistake. That was a laser to the top corner. What a goal by McDavid. What timely goal for McDavid for Canada. And they can go and celebrate their hard-earned win because that was a great, great, great U.S. hockey team that Canada beat in this tournament.
Well, I got another nickname for him. There's been McJesus, and we got all these names for him. Yeah. McDemon, because he just went full McDemon mode. When he put this in the back of the net, look at this right here, Mess. You don't think he wants to play for his country? You don't think he's happy to play there?
Yeah.
I don't need to hear what they need to say. The actions speak louder than words. And, we know Eminem. That's Mike McQuaid. The triple M is McDavid, McKinnon, and McCarr. And we spoke about them today that all 3 guys were going to be the engine for Canada. And if they were going to win, those guys had to show up. Well, McCarr, I don't know how many minutes he played, but he was out there every shift, making plays, stabilized the defense. This is the best defense that we've seen from Canada. Even though they gave up a little bit more, they still were a little bit better. They were solid in their own zone. U.S. had their chances. Yes, they're a great team. This is the other point. Connor McDavid, this is the best team he's ever played against in his life. He's never played against a better team than that. Which team?
Yeah,
so everybody's playing against
That's a great point.
Yeah,
That's
it's the best team he's ever played against. So, yeah, it's going to be tough. But I told you in the third, I said Canada only needs 1 shot to do it. And if you want one guy to take the shot, it's Connor McDavid.
The Americans got 5 shots in the overtime.
15.
Right. I mean, just, if you only see the overtime goal, Connor McDavid kind of expected Canada wins, but then you're not getting the full story. In the overtime, the Americans dominated. And really, we all agreed the MVP of the game, maybe the tournament, should have been Jordan Binnington.
I picked at the 10-minute mark my favorite MVPs of the tournament, and it was either goalie who won the tournament. Yes. And sure enough, Binnington comes up unbelievably large for Canada in overtime.
What a save.
This is the kind of goaltending that you need to win championships there. And both these guys, neither of them flinched all tournament long. All the pressure with Hellebuck coming in as the best goaltender in the world there, hasn't had a great success in the playoffs. He was a rock for U.S. in this tournament. Binnington, a Stanley Cup winner, some question mark what Canada's goaltending coming in. The management backed him, the players backed him. They all knew he could play at this level. And sure enough, what does he do all tournament long? He just does exactly what he did tonight. When it mattered most, he was there to make the saves. What a performance by Binnington. And I tell you what, you can pick all the MVPs you want, but if the goalie doesn't play like that, Canada's not winning.
Think about the 2 games, PK. Game 7, Stanley Cup final with the Blues. He beats the Bruins here, gives up just 1 goal.
Right.
And then Binnington tonight is what we think is the MVP of the tournament.
Well, listen, when overtime starts and the lights go down and then they turn back on, your stars got to come out. And they got to make big plays in those moments.
Yeah.
Jordan Binnington has won a Stanley Cup. He's not shaken by this moment. And you could see that. That was evident. 15 shots in overtime, 4 or 5 point blank, grade A scoring chances. That's what a Stanley Cup champion looks like in net. So for all the goaltenders watching, it's not good enough just to make the saves. You got to make them when they matter.
Right.
And that's what makes you the best. And Jordan Binnington right now is the best goaltender in this tournament, and he was tonight. And that's why right now,
him.
Which goaltender are you picking over him?
Yep, good for him. What is the Tkachuk takeaway? It felt like the Tkachuk family had dominated the entire 4 nations. And then in the end tonight, I mean, Brady was just a monster, all world in this game. And Matthew didn't play the 3rd period or overtime. Clearly hurt himself the other night.
Well, I think the takeaway for the Tkachuk family is that those 2 brothers are amazing U.S. hockey players. They galvanized this team emotionally. They were unbelievably on the ice. It was unfortunate that Matthew got hurt because he's such a wrecking ball down low. He's such an effective player on the power play, although there wasn't a lot of power plays. But he just adds so much skill, size, determination, all the things that you'd want in a hockey player. But the thing that they had the opportunity to do in this tournament was be recognized like the 1980 team and the 1996 team, and they weren't quite able to do it. And that's going to sting them for a long time, because I think to a man, the Tkachuks and everybody else in that U.S. locker room felt they were a good enough team. They played well enough to win this tournament, but they didn't, and that's going to really sting not only the Tkachuk brothers, but everybody in USA hockey, because like I keep saying there, that was a strong team that Canada beat.
Well, let's stay with the USA hockey theme, because if the USA would have won tonight, I had it written down. I was going to ask you guys, has the USA surpassed Canada as the hockey superpower? And not just at the professional level, World Juniors, all those kinds of things. We've sort of discussed it amongst ourselves. You're shaking your head, so there's my answer.
They got a long way to go to surpass Canada internationally.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they're not there yet. I don't think you could look at these 2 teams and say one was better than the other. One was more talented than the other. One country is has a more depth in their players than the other. To me, they're very evenly matched there, but Canada has got a stranglehold on that. And again, they found a way to win the hockey game. And in the end, the only thing that matters is if you won or lost, and Canada won today.
100%. I agree with everything Mess just said. I don't have anything to add.
I hate that.
It is what it is.
Each other.
It is what it is.
As we send it back to Nicole and David, I will leave you with this one thought. The Americans did not get a single power play. Not one power play the whole game.
Reeves. That's on you.
That's how flawless
Canada
Canada
work harder
was.
to create those opportunities.
Great discipline by Team Canada to win it all.